Namaskar. Today we have
Namaste.
another special guest at Dil Se Stories, Veera Fauzia Saxena. Welcome to Dil Se Stories, and please go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh, okay. So, Namaste. I am Veera Saxena, Veera Fauzia Saxena, and I am actor and singer, and generally just always willing to entertain and always looking for work. That's just how it is. Yeah.
Great. And I'm Dr. Parag Bharadwaj. So I think you are very modest in terms of sharing who you are. You're also a model and you're also a voice artist, is what I saw,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've done a
uh,
little bit of modeling and a fair bit of voiceover work. Yeah.
like in this era of social media, you see personalities with, claiming to do XYZ. So when I saw, I was like, okay, this is just another person. But when I actually looked in depth, you actually do everything that you say, claim to be. So, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you interested in all these things.
Um, okay, so what got me interested? I think it all started with singing, from what I gather, because so at home, dad used to have this dictaphone, like a really small dictaphone that he would record stuff on all the time, especially like if he was learning lines in Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam or something. Like the way he would learn his lines was he would speak it into the dictaphone and then all day he was at it. So it used to always be around. And then what used to happen is like in his break time or whatever, when I was chilling, we used to sit and record stuff together. And I must have been like 3 or 4 or something. And then we used to be recording, he would say stuff or I would sing and things like that. And we found those tapes a few years ago, the small dictaphone tapes, and we played it. And because it's he used to do it for work, he would have a date, like he would say the date. So it was like 1993 or 1993. And I think that's the first time I realized that I was singing since I was 3 years old, because there was a little clip in the tape where I'm 3 years old and I'm singing, and I'm basically singing everything that I can see, and I'm making a tune and, like, adding words and this and that. So I think it started from there. And in school, I did a lot of singing. Um, I tried to do singing classes with like Hindustani classical classes with the harmonium and everything. But I think as a bacha, I had like a big ego about my voice. I was just like, I don't need these classes, okay? Which I regretted later. But I think it started with singing, and I was always obsessed with films. I was obsessed. Like, and I don't know if it has anything to do with family or anything, but I was so obsessed with movies, and I was obsessed with Karishma Kapoor. Like, nothing in the world was bigger than Karishma Kapoor for me. And I remember Ghar Pe also, we used to make like films, like short films and this and that. We had like one camcorder and we would make like credits and end credits, and jo bhi aa raha tha Ghar Pe to stay, like cousins and this and that. We would have like one week we would have a new script, and it was always funny. It was always a comedy. There was one which was called The Man Who Drank Too Much Pepsi, and we were kids, right? And but like dad would help, mom would help, and we would make these elaborate movies. And then there was something about a bomb in some game. And but yeah, bachpan se only this has been happening. So lots of like singing competitions, play competitions. Yeah, so that's how it started. Then in college, in school, basically, when I would, wow, what is this? In school, when I would
New
tell
technology.
anyone that I want, yeah, I remember people would laugh when I would tell them that I wanted to act in school, because I mean, I think it's about how I looked. Like, everyone used to call me center shock because I had like curly hair and I was round, and I don't know, people would just laugh. So then I stopped telling anyone. I started saying, I went to a Catholic school, so I started telling people I want to be a nun, and they were very happy with me. But then I went to college in Pune, and there the Marathi theater circuit is huge, right? So I kind of, this friend of mine, now friend of mine, then I didn't know her, Mrinmay Godbole, she asked me to be in a play. And so I did that play. It didn't do much. Like that play didn't really go anywhere. But it kind of got me into like meeting people and this and that and stuff like that. So I started being interested like more seriously in the theater side of things and all of that in college. And then I told my dad. My mom was not very happy about this idea. My dad was quite enthusiastic about it. He was like, "Yeah, great, okay, fine." And then yeah, and then I moved back to Bombay after college. I did a little work with Nasir sir's theater company, but like I was like learning in the background basically. And then I auditioned for a film called Hunter. And I remember that day was, firstly I thought it was a crank call when I got a call for an audition, so I hung up. I was like, this is a lie. But turns out I had been recommended by Radhika Apte because we had done a short film together, and we were in the same theater group in college. So I auditioned for Hunter, and I remember when I left the audition, the flat, it was in a flat. I came down and they called me and they were like, "Okay, great, you're on. Come for a reading with Gulshan, the lead guy, the next day." And I was like, "What? This is okay, great, yay!" I feel like that must have been like the happiest day of my life, probably. Yeah. And the singing, like I had put it aside for a while, and because I was like acting, 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 and then I did India's first Broadway style musical, Beauty and the Beast by Disney. And usme there was obviously a lot of live singing and things like that. So that's where it kind of like picked up again, because you got some training in Western class, in Broadway style Western music. So that's kind of where it picked up again. And so yeah, now it's just all like a mix of everything. Yeah, so we're doing singing also, voiceovers also, little modeling also, acting also.
So you're just
Yeah.
going with the flow.
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, I was going with the flow a lot, but now I think I've kind of not taken a break. Like it wasn't really a break, but I took kind of a step back to just like figure things out a little bit, because I felt like I needed it. And now I'm like stepping back in, and I'm just going to go for it a little harder. Yeah, that's it.
Got it. So
Yeah.
what I'm gathering is that very creative, right from childhood and into the arts, right? And very fun loving because you said, all your, no matter what you shot as a kid, it was always a comedy,
Yeah, it was always funny. It was
right?
always, but I think that comes from like my parents. Yeah,
Okay,
they're just, yeah, they're just always up for a laugh, and they have a great sense of humor. Like even now, like just hanging out with them, we're just laughing all the time. So yeah.
got it. So how does one navigate, like, can you give us a glimpse into like your thought process? You said you've taken a short break, you're going to
Mm.
put more effort. I mean, what is the discipline that is involved through this process?
I mean, I mean, I don't know. Like right now, at least, it's a lot of it is obviously you have to work on your own craft, so to speak. I'm doing this because I find it very funny when people say this, but it's true. Unfortunately, you have to keep working on that. And what I've done right now is I'm doing a lot of vocal work for the singing, which also helps with the acting, a lot of breathing techniques and this and that. I'm also, for me personally, again, I think maybe it's because of just growing up how I have, physical activity becomes very important, like every single day. Otherwise, I'm in a shit mood. Like, so for me to keep like mental equilibrium, I have to have a certain amount of physical activity every day. I do my vocal lessons, I do my acting stuff, and I think it's just like like how someone would like learn their timetables nahi, like tables, like mathematic tables, or like someone would pray every day. It's something that just has to be done every day and becomes like second nature. And I'm learning to network and not say no when someone asks me to come out and things like that. And yeah, because that is a huge part of it, being seen and being there, because people are going to forget about you. Like recently this has happened to me. Like there was this one play that I was like very enthused about being part of, but I was told that people just kind of like forgot that I was there, because I used to just like not socialize that much. But I'm realizing that I need to socialize a little more and do all of that.
It's
Yeah.
great
So now my
introspection. Yeah.
yeah. And also, I think a lot of it has to do with luck, in the sense that you have to be at the right place, right time. But then again, if you're going to sit at home like me, then you're not going to be at the right place at the right time. So, yeah, now it's going to start. Like, I'm starting a new hustle, basically. I'm
Good
very
luck to
excited.
you. Good luck to
Thank
you.
you.
Right? Yeah, and uh, yeah, it's interesting because you mentioned that you're working on your singing, which helps with your acting. Can
Yeah.
you just share? I mean, what kind of? I mean, is it acting in the sense of on stage or in front of a
I think all
camera
of
or both?
I mean, I don't know if this is widely accepted, but I think all of it kind of all works together. Because now, for stage, for example, you need a certain level of lung power and breath power and things like that. Because even for Beauty and the Beast, where we were doing live singing, it was a 3 hour show, if I'm not wrong. And we would do it in stadiums. Of course, we had mics and everything, but it was still like thousands and thousands of people watching and listening. So I remember for that also we had to do a lot of breath work. For vocal lessons also you do a lot of breath work. And generally even with acting, there's a lot of breath work involved. Like for a very like silly example, for a very basic example, if you have to suddenly spontaneously laugh, the best way that I have been taught to do it is through breath work. Like you have to manipulate your breath, like if even if you want to cry and you're manipulating breath. So all of like that way it all ties in, and singing is so much about breath work. So like even the vocal classes that I'm doing, the vocal lessons that I take, if it's a 1 hour class, half an hour is breath work. And yeah, and then, then you sing. So
Yeah, I
yeah, it all kind of ties in together. Yeah.
didn't realize that there's so much discipline goes into it. But good for you, and thanks for you
Yeah,
know
it's lots of
not saying no. And I'm glad you said yes to be interviewed for this particular session. So yeah, now with all the things that you do, and you said okay, you've taken a break, you're back. Uh, is there a particular genre that you're focused on, like acting or singing, or is what's the mix that you're looking for?
I mean, the mix that I'm looking for is like, why not be like a triple threat? Do it all, you know. But we'll come to that if it comes to that. But I'm looking at a lot of acting and singing work, and that is, it's just something that is very close to my heart. Like all of it, like the acting and the singing, it's been there bachpan se, whether I had admitted it or not, it's been there. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
And that's great, right? Those are the two things that seem to come naturally to you, right?
I mean, I don't know, we'll find out how
Yeah.
naturally it comes to me.
So what about modeling? Is that like a completely different gig? I know like there are
So
full-time
yeah,
professional models.
yeah, I mean, that was honestly, it happened like a fluke, honestly. um I, since I've been obsessed with acting and this and that bachpan se, of course I was, you know I was like, okay, I like people taking my picture. But I've always been very very conscious of the way I look. and very unhappy with the way I look. So I've never thought of being a model other than in my bedroom, where I would be like, of course, why not? Like I can get super skinny and super tall magically and just like start modeling. But it honestly, it happened as a fluke. I don't even know how this whole thing started. Um, yeah, I'm blanking on how the modeling thing started. Honestly, I think I started taking lots of selfies, maybe. I don't know. And I know my angles, so that works. And yeah, I can't, like, I got approached by this modeling agency called Featured Cast or Feed Cast. And they were like, we want to sign you at one point. And that never really worked out, the getting signed up with them or whatever. But they would call me for if they thought that I would match a criteria that they had. And also, like, this whole thing about like curvy models and everything has become a thing now. So I guess that's how it worked out finally. So I got to walk the ramp and I got to do the photo shoots and I still get to do it and it's great. I love it. And I think it helps to kind of accept the way I look also. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I think you look great, and I'm sure so would
Yeah.
the audience think. Now, you mentioned something about people forgetting, right? So do you think
Yeah.
it's part of the times that we live in? Because, there's an information overload, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people move on from one clip to the next.
I mean, I can't really speak for any other time because I've only been here at
No, but
this
you've seen
time.
the change, right? You've seen the change. You mentioned the 90s and how things were then, and, how information was fed then and how information is fed now is very different.
Yeah, I mean, but I think I was like a child in the 90s. I don't know how it worked then, but um, something that I've heard from a lot of people, even from like senior artists and things like that. So they were around in the 70s, 80s, 90s, everything. All of them told me this, that you can't like vanish off the scene. Yeah. All of them mentioned it, that it's a very like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And I think especially now, because earlier acting and things like that wasn't like the considered the best profession to be in. Like at one time it was just like, oh, acting, oh, okay, like it was like, oh, padhai nahi ho rahi hai, doctor nahi ban pa rahe ho, engineer nahi ban pa rahe ho, theek hai, maybe that's why entertainment industry. But now there are a lot more people, there's a lot more competition, and there's like super talented people, super gorgeous people, like super hardworking people. Like nobody, I don't think anyone's like a prodigy anymore, like, or nobody's like that special anymore. So I feel like तुम नहीं तो कोई और मिल जाएगा. If you're charging this much, someone else is going to charge less. And if you've got this great quality, this person has 10. So I think it's out of sight, out of mind. There's so much availability of people willing to do the same job. Like there's just a lot of it comes into play.
Got
So
it.
yeah, it kind of makes it harder. Like I know that, again, these senior artists that I've spoken to, a lot of them agree that it's harder now than it was back then, because back then the industry was smaller. Maybe you had easier access to, like, you could maybe speak directly to a director or a producer. Now you can't really do that unless you know them personally, which is really like, how many people know these people personally. So yeah.
So in terms of your acting, what kind of acting do you enjoy the most?
What kind of acting do I enjoy the most? I don't think I've gotten to do all the acting that I want to do. And I have really enjoyed, like, in the some of the short films that I've done and this and that. I really enjoy the very like serious, like dramatic acting. Like I don't know how my comic timing is. Like I don't know. I mean, in real life, I think I'm hilarious, but I've never played like a funny character on screen, like a comic character on screen. So I don't know what that's like, because I'm assuming it can be very different. It can come across differently on screen. But what I really want to do is, and what I tried to do and tried to make happen for myself, which didn't work, is I really want to do a sports movie. Like how everyone has their little thing that they want to do. I really want to do a sports movie, and I want to do a rugby based movie because I used to play rugby, and I didn't play for very long. I may not be very good at it, but it really stayed with me. The sport, the camaraderie, and just like it's such a physical sport, and the rugby girls are like some of the best people that I know. And I remember me and this friend of mine, Shubham, who's now a director, and he's done a lot of work, and he's made movies and this and that, and he's doing really well for himself. At one time, we were both living in Bombay and Andheri, and we were like, "Chal, yaar, let's just do this." So we tried to write a rugby movie, and we traveled and we went to Pune, and we met my coach, and we met the team, and we tried to make a story out of it. And then I think that just fizzled out. I think we found out that someone else was already doing that. But yeah, doing a rugby movie would be great for me. And I already have the training, so I can do it.
No, the reason why I asked is you're such a lively person, and then you said you like doing serious roles, right?
Yeah. I
And
think I like not being myself.
very nice. So yeah, so is that what draws you to acting? You can be anything you want and you are not.
It seems like that. Yeah, I think that's what it would be, maybe, because a lot of people have been like, "Oh, why don't you start a YouTube channel?" You know, but for some reason that terrifies me. Putting myself out there with my own personality and that kind of thing. I'm just like, "Nahi, nahi, I don't want to start a YouTube channel." Like, even so many people are like, social media is very important. You need to put out reels and do these trending reels and this and that, and it really scares me. I've tried reels and all. I'm very shit at it, but I think I like the not being myself, and yeah,
So
it's
so
always
who
been it's always been a thing, I think. Yeah.
so who told you you're not good at it? Was it your assessment or did somebody tell you? Because it seems like
What?
at creating those reels, because maybe you're too self-critical.
No, no, it's my assessment, and when I say not good at it, I mean, like, to me it feels like a headache. Like, I can't seem to justify putting aside time to make a reel, even though I should, for work and whatever it is. And a lot of people say it's a lot of fun, but to me it seems like tam jam.
Got it.
So I don't know, and I haven't put out enough reels for someone else to give me feedback on whether they're good or bad. So I don't know.
So
Yeah.
coming back to the rugby, I mean, is rugby popular in India? Because I didn't think it was that popular.
So it's gaining a lot of popularity, and it's been around for a while. And I was in college in Pune, and like I said, physical activity is something that I've always wanted to have as part of my life, whether I'm good at it, not good at it, whatever. So in college, I was just like, I don't want to join a gym. And then I heard about this club that people were playing football and rugby or whatever. And since at that time, I don't think rugby was as popular as it's getting now. So at that time, it was like you sign up for football, and there's like a few days a week or a few hours in your session there'll be a little bit of rugby, just like an introduction to the sport. And our coaches were brothers, and they lived in South Africa for a lot of their lives, from Pune, but lived in South Africa. So that's why they started playing rugby and stuff like that, so they brought it there. And a lot of my friends were like the first few rugby players in maybe the country, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Pune had like a big hand in this again, if I'm not mistaken. This is from what I remember. But so I used to go for football practice, and there used to be a little bit of rugby in it. And then I realized that I liked the rugby more than the football, because I was like, handling a ball with my feet and all, I'm not doing. Like, it's a lot. I can't do it. I gravitated towards rugby in general, and uh, I watched it get more and more popular, and yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting quite popular. Yeah. And there are a lot of teams in India, and the Indian team is like so kick-ass. And some of my very good friends are captains of the team and have been captains of the team. And just watching them, it's just like they are like specimens, like they're like beautiful specimens of the human form. And the stuff that they can do and the stuff that they can handle, it's mad, it's mental. I love it. I'm quite obsessive about it, actually.
Yeah, I can tell, and it seems like, I won't be surprised if you end up becoming a director or a story writer. I mean, the way I think you observe, you're very observant, and then just like the way you described, your friends who are in rugby and how each one of them is special. To me, each one and then is a story, right? Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's going to be
yeah.
very interesting to see how your career evolves. So, where do you see things heading for you?
I have learned to not see this because I started out with some very specific plans, and none of them worked out the way I thought they would. So I have decided to not make specific plans. And if there are plans, they're going to be like vague directional plans, and I'm going to keep them in my head. So yeah, I don't know where it'll work out, but an ideal scenario would be like I become this super successful actor slash singer. Yeah.
Awesome. So we
And at
wish
one
you. Sorry, go
and
ahead.
I know at one point it was just like मैं star बनूंगी ना. I'm just like I just want to do really. This sounds very cliched, but I just want to do really good work because I feel like I'm dying to like get a lot of stuff out like that. Yeah.
So when you say stuff out, it's just pertaining to the acting or the material
Yeah.
as well. Got it.
Just a lot of acting. Like, I mean, I have this habit that I've had since I was a child. Like, I'll watch a film or I'll watch something, and I'm sure a lot of people do this. And I'll just reenact scenes in front of the mirror in different ways, like different perspectives, different angles, different tonalities, and it's just I can do that all day. And like like observing people, like you said, you think I'm very observant. It's because I'm just like bachpan se I'm like I will observe people because this will help me work. So like I observe like how different people show different emotion, or different types of people show different emotion, like how different types of like crying. It's very weird. If someone is crying around me, I feel bad and all, but I'm also a little bit observing them, like different types of crying. Like I don't know if I should be saying all of this.
No, but it's very interesting because, as a doctor, that's exactly what I do too. You're observing people, and of
Yeah.
course, I'm not observing probably things as in depth as you're talking about in terms of trying to reenact them. But yeah, it's fascinating how what you're describing is an overlap between what we as human beings tend to do, right?
Yeah, because
Uh,
I mean, at least for me, I did a play recently, and there was this character that I had to play, which was like this very specific, like eccentric lady, and older than I am, and things like that. Very, very eccentric. And I realized that obviously you're gonna not you're going to base characters if you're given the freedom to do that. You're obviously gonna base characters on people you know a little bit. So you're gonna pull from different people, you know. So then you have to have something to pull from them, na? So I mean, I based this character on a little bit of my mom, a little bit of one of her friends, a little bit of another one of my friends, and then you just like smash that up and make one character. So I think that's where all the observing helps.
and the create
I'm really
sounds very creative.
oversimplifying I'm really oversimplifying this, and other actors are just going to be like, "Kya bol rahi hai ladki?"
Well, this has been a fascinating conversation. I learned a lot more than I had anticipated.
So wait,
So, no,
oh, we're
it's
done. Or what?
yeah, we are
Mm.
almost done with time,
Oh,
and
that was
yeah, so time flies when you're having fun.
yeah, I guess so.
So I appreciate your time, and then I hope you will be back again. to let
I
us
hope
know
so.
what you're up to, and really look
I
forward
appreciate
to.
you asking me to do this. Thank you.
No, I thought this was a very inspiring conversation. I think you gave a very nice perspective of life, and
Mm-hmm.
there are so many things that I've picked up which are pearls of wisdom. So look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having
Namaskar.
me. Namaste.